So first and foremost, thank you everyone for being here and welcome. This is our webinar for explaining and working with you about the final project essentials. So the final project is pretty much the culmination of our NBSOIL Academy. So today we're going to be talking about what it entails and how you can participate if you're interested. The first thing was doing a little bit of housekeeping and introductions. So in a second, I'll give the floor to some of the people that are here that participate in our project that might be potential mentors or people that you might want to engage with to develop your projects if you get involved. And then what we're going to be doing is exploring a little bit what would a final project entail, what we would ask for you. Then we'll leave a bit time, a fair chunk of time for Q&A. If you have any particular questions, we're happy to answer them at that point. And then we're going to provide a little bit of a networking space. And by this, we mean a space where you can actually start connecting with other people that might be interested in particular topics, or a connection with some of the professors here that you might want to talk to about a particular project and explore it. So what I'm going to be doing first and foremost is just, as I mentioned, the housekeeping is done. We already know what to do. But I would like you to know who here are potential Academy mentors or teachers that could help you in your process before we even start, so that you know what kind of flavors we have here. So I'm going to start myself. My name is Anna Alamand. I work in the UK with the Soil Association, and my expertise is mostly on everything that has to do with interactive innovation. So if you're interested in anything along those lines, it'll be probably me that you want to talk to. I'm going to pass it to Josiah now to introduce himself, and then I'm going to go really fast with the different participants in this call that could be your teachers or your mentors, just for them to very briefly say their name, where they come from country-wise, what language they speak, and how you can help, and just if they like their particular expertise. So Josiah, you're the first one. Go for it.
Very briefly, I'm Josiah. I'm Josiah Judson. I work with Anna at the Soil Association, and I'm part of coordinating the Soil Academy with her.
So I'm going to be calling people one at a time. So Alberto, I'm seeing you there. If you could unmute yourself and introduce yourself, that would be fantastic.
Yes, I am Alberto Martin. I work at the International Union for Conservation of Nature in the Food Systems and Nature Conservation Department. And we are also part of the NBSOIL project, working in all the aspects related with nature-based solutions and the IUCN Global Standard for Nature-Based Solutions, and also in policy aspects.
So if you're interested in policy, Alberto's the person to go. Christian, I see you there. I'm going through the alphabet. So if you could introduce yourself, that would be amazing.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Christian. I'm working at the Chamber of Agriculture and Forestry in Styria, which is located in Austria. So our mother language is German. I'm an expert in soil and fertilization, and I'm also the project manager for national and international projects. And my colleagues from the forestry department can help you if you have any questions regarded to forestry.
Super, thank you. Now I'm going to go to Gregor, if you're there, and you could introduce yourself, please. Oh, we can't hear you. And I see that you've unmuted yourself, so. I think it's not working for Gregor, so I'm going to jump to Joao, and then we'll come back to Gregor if he's around. Joao, could you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. So my name is João Koblinski. I'm working in Poland in the Institute of Soil Science and Plant Cultivation, Jung, and I'm a soil scientist. And my main topic is the use of digital tools to assess degradation, soil health in general. And so if you need me and all of these topics or the use of digital tools to assess soil health, please, I'm available. And just text me or email me.
There you go. There you go. Latin generosity, so amazing. Karin, I see you there.
I'm Karen Pepers. I work at the Erasmus University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands. So main language is Dutch, of course. And I'm soil scientist based, well focused on the agriculture. So mainly questions about agriculture in the Netherlands can come to me.
Amazing. And last but not least, I see Sylvia. Marta, I'm going to jump you. Marta's our expert. You can see her there. She's our expert in comms. So she'll probably be the person to talk to about formats and things like that. But I'll let you be for the time being, and I'll just jump to Sylvia.
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfecto.
Okay, I'm Silvia Comis. I'm a postdoc at University of Turin in Italy, in the northwest of Italy. Our language is Italian, and we work on bio and phytoremediation of contaminated soils. So we are academic and we're doing practical things instead of working on regulation and things like that, even though it's really interesting. But it's not my work. We do more practical things.
I have one final member of our team. Yue, I see you there. I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Because you seem to be on the go, so I'm not sure if that's possible. Yes.
And I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Perfect, yes.
Okay, yes. I'm working in the office right now, so I cannot turn my camera, sorry. I'm also, yes, I'm also part of the NBSOIL project, and I'm from PC3, which is the Basque Center for Climate Change. And we are working in the NBSOIL project with the as the ARIS team, which is integrated modeling for soil health assessment and management. So our objective for this project task is to actually help the people to visualize and understand how to assess soil condition by using integrated modeling technologies, which is the ARIS platform, and trying to help people to understand all the knowledges about soil.
So that's it, people. That's our team.
Anna,
so thank you so much.
We have
Yes.
Grzegorz back. I don't know if he wants to have a go.
Go.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm back. So you can hear me, I suppose.
We can now.
So, okay, so my name is Grzegorz, working at the Institute of Soil Science and Plant Cultivation in Puławy, Poland. And I have a real pleasure to coordinate this project, NBSOIL project. I'm a soil scientist, and my interest is mainly soil regeneration, bioremediation of contaminated soils. We've got also here at our team the competence to mentor you in a spatial information application of soil information to urban soil management, so I hope you can select such projects so we can support you. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Gregor. It's really nice as well to finish all the introductions with the big boss in charge. So that's always great. So yeah, as you can see, everybody who's here, we have an assortment of absolutely amazing experts in a variety of topics that are related with nature-based solutions. So if you're interested in participating or creating a final project or even creating more contacts with them, this is your moment to shine. So we're going to be explaining now a little bit about what the NBSOIL Academy final projects are. And then, as I mentioned, we'll have time for Q&A and a little bit for networking. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free to start putting them in the chat. The presentation will be quite short to try to allocate as much time to Q&A as possible. So if you have questions now, either save them for the last or start putting them in the chat and we'll come back to them. So the first thing is just a short presentation. I'm assuming if you're doing the academy, you might not really know what the breadth of all the work that we're doing in this project is. So we figured we might show you a little bit about this. So NBSOIL is a project we've been running as a team for a little over 3 years now. We still have a year to go. And the goal of this project is to actually mainstream 6 nature-based solutions in particular: paludiculture, cover crops, organic fertilizer, bioremediation, forest diversification, and blue-green infrastructure at the core, but others are also available and very welcome, to try to contribute to the EU soil health mission objectives, but also try to make it as wide as possible. I see that some of you are coming from abroad, from beyond the EU, and you're very welcome, because the goal is to try to create healthier soils across the globe. So in doing so, one of the things that we realize is that there is a need to actually have properly trained soil advisors that can actually understand what we mean by nature-based solutions, and what it is and what it entails and how to run a project like this. So to do that, we created this NBSOIL Academy, where you can find information about how to run a project, about particular nature-based solutions, about the policy in the EU that is actually backing all this work, and about tools like, for example, Joao was talking there about digital tools that actually can make you make it easier for you to implement these tools. So some of you might have already been participating. Some of you might be curious about learning more about the Academy. But here, again, it's a space for you to learn online on your own time how to explore certain nature-based solutions, how to run an interactive innovation project, which is very needed, sort of like bringing knowledge from different peoples and different backgrounds to actually make it happen. And just do it at your own time, structured, online, as sort of like you can pick and choose what modules you'd be interested in focusing on. Maybe you're super interested in the digital side of things and nature-based solutions, but not so much on the project. You will break my heart because I'm actually the one in the project, but I totally understand that it's a pick and choose kind of environment. So the question for everyone who's going to commit some time to this is it for you? And I would say it definitely is pretty much for everyone that is in Europe interested in soil or agricultural advisors that are interested in soil solutions, especially nature-based solutions. But even beyond the EU, it's really interesting because it provides a flavor about what tools can be used, what nature-based solutions can be implemented, an idea of a policy in Europe that then you can contrast with your own reality, and finally, how to run effective projects with more than one kind of expertise on board. You might see all of the different levels, but all of the different modules. It's one introductory module and then 4 in-depth modules. Each have 3 levels, and a sort of like an introductory level that is available in 7 languages, and then a sort of like a medium and advanced learning level that is available in English. All of these, shut up, alarm, there we go. All of these are already available. You can start exploring them in the website, which we're gonna share with you in a second. But now we're actually coming to the point where we can start implementing the final projects. So what's the rationale behind the final projects? I just jumped one thing. So the rationale is you've spent a lot of time trying to learn, trying to understand what it is. You've been working online, you've gathered all this information, but then what can you do after this happens? It's hard to actually make this practical and tangible unless you actually have to test your knowledge in a real life environment. And that's where the final projects come in. The final projects are expected to be a space where you can either individually or as a group come together, choose a particular topic relating to nature-based solutions. It could be a particular challenge on farm. It could be a policy that you would like to explore. It could be a project that you would like to start organizing and creating that focuses on implementing a nature-based solution. And that then can be sort of like where you can actually test all the knowledge that you've gathered and sort of like take it away from the world of the theoretical and into the world of reality by applying all this new knowledge to a real case. This is sort of like the main question. We've talked a little bit about what the final projects are. So again, that's the idea. But of course, that sounds very vague. So in the coming minutes, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what it really entails. But before you even want to know if you're interested is why would you participate? So I think that the main thing and the thing that really makes it alive and really interesting for me is that it's a great opportunity for you to come together with other people to explore a particular topic in real life and get experts to support you in the process. As you've seen through our introduction, we have experts on policy, experts on soils, experts on tools, and they can actually mentor you through the process of testing this idea and turning it into a piece of work that then you can go and implement in real life. So if you're interested in doing that, if you're interested in growing your networks, if you're interested in testing your knowledge, this is definitely for you. It's a process that is quite short, so we're not going to be expecting an awful lot, but we will expect a fair amount of engagement. And again, the outcome for you would mostly be having the opportunity to test in real life and network around soil health. So just for you, even before you even think about what you need to write, think, plan, anything, we wanted to show you how tight the process is and sort of like make sure that this still works for you. You can explore it. So as you see now, we're presenting you what the final projects are. We would expect anyone who's interested in participating to present a project topic by October the 24th. That's a really easy model. In a follow-up mail, we're going to be sharing a survey link. And all you have to do is click on that link, let us know who you are, where you're coming from, what's your background, and what the topic will be that you would like to explore. Then on November the 28th, hopefully by that point, we would have matched you with the right person, the right mentor. You will have to submit a one-page outline of the structure of what you would like to do. We will have support, especially during February, office hours, where you can actually reach out to your mentor, talk to them, engage with them, and ask for any help. And by March the 27th, we would expect you to submit your report. And what does that report entail? We've tried to make it as sort of like practical, but still sort of like easy to deliver as possible. So we're going to be giving a lot of information of what we want. And the project basically expects, of course, a summary just for us to have an idea. But basically, you should have an introduction, then explaining what's happening, where you are, what's a challenge, then focusing on the description of the advisory process, how you came to the conclusions that you came to, what final recommendations you would give to the person on the other side of the reading table, a conclusion, and very importantly, a self-evaluation at the very end that helps us understand why you got involved and how it worked for you. A little bit more of flavor. Of course, in the introduction, we would like to know who your audience is. Is it a farmer that you're going to be helping? Is it a policymaker that you're going to be talking to? Is it even a teacher that you would like to show your new knowledge to? Explain what the issue is in these 4 dimensions, and this is really important, on a technical dimension, on an economical dimension, on an environmental dimension, and in a social dimension. It doesn't have to be super in-depth, but we need to see that you're actually thinking of all these different dimensions, because when it comes to healthy soils, just the technical aspect is not enough. Then we need to understand what your expected changes are, what the state of the art is. So did you read a little bit to find out how the investigations around this topic are, what the research is saying, what's your personal interest, and what modules you would be using? We mentioned the module parts because you will not need to have done the whole academy to be able to participate. As long as you've completed at least one module, you're very welcome to suggest topics and engage in this process. Then, of course, we want to understand how you went around the advisory process, how you talked to the person, the case study that you're exploring, what methodology you used, how did you engage with the person that you will be advising, and then a little bit about the development of your process. So what nature-based solution will you use, or policy around nature-based solutions will you be exploring, how it was implemented, or how will it be implemented. Some results either expected or real that you expect to see on the technical, economic, environmental, and social dimensions. And also the limitations that you see, because sometimes you're like, of course, this is not a holistic process, is not going to be able to cover everything. So still invite a little bit of self-reflection in terms of what is not covered in this process. And that's sort of like more of the development side of things. But then we would also want to hear from you. What recommendations would you give to your audience? This need to be clear, very pragmatic, something that leads to action. So try to keep it very like, we would suggest you do this because X. And then they must show what, sort of like they must be based on your work on previous chapters. So it kind of is obvious, but we want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible in explaining what we expect to see from you. Almost there, just the conclusions, a short and concise paragraph highlighting the key points and the main takeaway. And as I mentioned, a self-evaluation, which is a little bit for us to understand the whole process and whether it worked for you or not, which is why you were interested in the project, any main learnings that you consider for yourself, especially professionally, and how you worked with the team that supported you in terms of mentorship or collaboration with experts when relevant. As you can see, that was a whiz tour, because I think it went for like 10 or 15 minutes. So it's a lot of information there. I'm imagining that you must have some questions. So I'm going to open the floor now, both to any participant that would like to engage in this process. There must be questions about whether you need to do it individually or as a group, what you need to have course and how you prove things, or questions about the content, both either from the people that might be interested in doing it, but also if any of the potential teachers or mentors have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and ask them.
Anna, we have an immediate question, whether those outside of Europe can participate in the final project.
I think that it's absolutely fine for people outside of Europe to participate, as long as it's sort of like an interesting project that aligns with everything else that we've said. I think that we would welcome it. Unfortunately, that means that we cannot support that much in terms of, for example, finding the right in real life site, for example, if you want to. That makes it a little bit harder for us on that front. But I think participation-wise, people are welcome to come along and participate in any shape or form from anywhere in the world. I'm from Latin America, for example, so I'm more than happy to say yes. So yeah. I see some other questions. Let me see. Someone's working on an overview of a current knowledge on the impact of wetlands on archaeological remains, focusing on Sweden. This aims to support municipalities in their decision-making process, and if Alberto might be interested in this, or he can suggest any other experts. Not completely sure about that one. Sorry to put you on the spot, Alberto. I'm not sure if anybody has been already working within our team in this particular topic, but we can absolutely explore what that is and see if there's any support that can be there, and also whether it really aligns with what we need, because it's all about nature-based solutions that needs to be the focus of it. So if there's a nature-based solution that aligns with that kind of work, I think that we could explore it, but otherwise.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Anna. In this case, we would need to have a little bit more information about this specific topic. If I am correct, it's about rewetting wetlands on archaeological remains with a specific focus on Sweden. Yeah, I think that we can discuss about how this could be one of the final projects. As I mentioned before, we are specifically focusing in NBSOIL in different aspects. One is related with soil biodiversity, since this project is specifically focused on soil health, which is related with different aspects, with physical, with chemical, but also with biological aspects. We are working on this biodiversity conservation, soil biodiversity conservation aspects. Also, in the policy aspects, in all the aspects that are related with policy, with the Common Agricultural Policy, the Soil Monitoring and Resilience Directive, the Nature Restoration Regulation, etc. So how to align different projects on interventions with EU policies, we can also provide support on this. And also from a more general perspective of how to align different interventions with nature-based solutions and the nature-based solutions framework. And also we can provide support on these more general perspective of how to align one project with what nature-based solutions are, or one intervention, or how to evaluate an intervention in order to identify like areas of improvements and strengths. That's also something that we can contribute if some of those aspects are useful for this specific project. So also we will be very happy to continue discussing about how can we support on moving forward with this proposal as one of the final projects.
Dila Marie has actually turned on her camera. I'm not sure if you have any further questions, Marie, or is it better to just connect the two of you and so you can take it offline and continue the discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I could explain a lot more, obviously, and also my background and everything, but maybe it's not, this meeting is not the right place to do it. So if Alberto is happy to meet with me, then that would be fantastic. And we could just chat and see where it goes. Yeah? Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. I can send you my email through the chat, and you can send me a message and we can continue discussing all this.
Great. Thank you.
There you go. A connection. Josiah, are you seeing any more questions? I see that Gregor's also raised
I'd love
his
to hear
hand.
from Grzegorz first, but
Yes.
yeah, then I can.
Well, I just wanted to add that to have a final project on rewetting wetlands would be really great, because there is a large discussion across Europe about rewetting, regeneration of wetlands, peatlands. So this would be good to explore a local case. We've got also some experience on that because we've been delineating areas to be covered by GAEC 2, which is good practice within CAP to protect wetlands and peatlands. So for sure we would find mentors here and even people very much interested in the topic. So we'll be happy to have this idea here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Do you,
No, you
do
go
you
ahead. You
also
go
want
first.
to? Yeah, if you want to also add your email, then maybe I can send both of you an email and we can find a meeting time. That would be great.
Definitely will.
Fantastic. There's a question about, there's a point about funding in the chat. I'm sure, I don't know, Anna or Grzegorz, you might have some, but I mean, the funding that we have received has will support the supervision that we're offering, and also obviously the academy that we've set up and the tools that are available, and the assessment of the final project. That's sort of what we're able to offer at the moment. Is there anything else to say on that, Anna?
No, I don't think so. I think that that's exactly what it is. In a way, what we've been sort of like funded to do is to provide all the knowledge. There's a few fair tools that you can actually use that have been developed, again, for free. And then you'll have access to all the academics and the researchers that introduce themselves in a variety of languages as well. So that's sort of like the part that we can support with when it comes to the financial side of things.
Yeah. And it's worth saying access to the panel of experts that we have is quite a privilege for them to be able to offer their time in this way, because they really do have a really strong and diverse range of backgrounds and sort of national contexts. Any more thoughts or questions?
You can also just raise your hand if it's easier. I think one aspect that I would like to sort of like reiterate is the fact that you can do it either as a group or as an individual. And so if you have a particular topic and you're not sure that you want to do it by yourself and you would actually like to work with someone else, we can help you facilitate either by connecting you with people from the that are going through the academy that might be in your same country, or just by making a call out to anyone in terms of saying, hey guys, there's actually this topic, someone's interested in exploring it, who would like to get in touch with them, and we provide the contact in that situation. So you don't have to do it alone, but you can if you want. But also sometimes you don't necessarily know the right people around you that might be interested in it. We're happy to facilitate that contact and that connection directly at any point. Martin is asking that, Martin, do you want to come and let us know a little bit more about your project? So I see that it's a long-term study with farmers to assess the impacts of soil management practices on soil health. So could this be considered a project? I would probably need to know a little bit more, but if it aligns with any of the nature-based solutions that are mentioned throughout the academy, I would imagine they could. Josiah, do you have any further comments?
Not particularly. It looks very interesting. I mean, I think part of we're here to sort of link up these ideas with the relevant experts. So definitely something we can hear more on if you'd like to, Martin. Anna, am I right that we might have some time later as well to create some spaces to?
Absolutely. So if anybody wants to have a smaller space to talk, we're probably in about 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to create rooms and you'll be able to just join whichever room you prefer. So it will be all good, and it'll be the experts that are going to be in the room. So Vito's asking if he can present an idea for a specific nature-based solution, even if they don't directly have access to farms or land to implement it themselves. Absolutely, it's not a limitation. We would probably suggest that you get in touch with someone that has a land just to have a conversation about what the real life conditions in a particular area would be. But again, we don't expect you to necessarily have those contacts. So we're happy to actually help you connect with the right people if that's the case. Am I missing anything on that one, Josiah?
No, I mean, I completely agree. Just to say that we've set the projects up for very varying levels of sort of ability to access relevant sites. So it can be very desk-based, it can be very practical, it can be policy-focused, it can be more academic in focus. And as well, depending on where you are, Vito, or anyone in your position, we can try and link you up with relevant sites within the network that where there might be an opportunity to see things in action. But it's a good question, very important question.
Also, so just in case, if you've not even, like sometimes, I don't know, I struggle thinking sometimes on a particular topic. So what we will be doing as well, sharing a few topics that you could explore. And if they're of interest to you, connect with particular experts that could actually lead you to exploring that topic more in depth. So all this information will be made available to you via mail right after this event. Gregor, I see your camera's on. Do you have any final comments or any ideas?
I maybe only wanted to add that if you've got some, referring to the last question, if you've got some idea to work on specific nature-based solutions, we can provide an example of farm we've got access to with some characteristics, and you can work, for example, how to a bit transform that farm to implement nature-based solutions in the specific context, and evaluate how would affect soil health potentially, and how it is possible to make it from the economical or organizational point of view. So we can provide a kind of background to testing or considering nature-based solutions. So all is possible. We've got access to quite many farms and sites here, with some also with some information on the current state of soil health, or some trends in soil information, if when data is collected for some period of time. So all is possible here. I'm not sure we said that we would also propose some topics, right? As a team, as an NBSOIL team.
That's
However,
right.
we also rely on your ideas that you like to proceed with.
I think it's worth saying as well that if you are there interested without necessarily an idea or a title, there is an amazing set of resources on the NBSOIL website, which, if you haven't seen already, is worth looking at. And if you're based within Europe, we have an indication of resources nearby where you might be. And that are accessible for inspiration or tools, or just lots of things on there to help sort of pique your interest for any of the NBS types. It's worth exploring that as a sort of discovery exercise if you're still unsure about what focus you would like to have.
The idea today was just to highlight what you could do, what the potential is, for you to think if you want to do something more academic along this lines, or more like reporty wise along these lines. And from now on, we're going to be sending a mail, as I mentioned before, to everyone who participated with all the necessary links. One, a link to the detail of the report so that you can think about it. Also, a few ideas that we might have that are interesting in terms of topics, if you've not thought of one. And I'll be happy to help you coordinate in the coming 2 weeks with the right mentors if you have either a topic that you would like to explore in a particular area, geographical, on a particular topical, or even if it's just that you would like to write it in your original language and you actually have someone that could help you meet that goal. Josiah, do you have any?
Well, I was just going to say as well on that, it's worth saying there are some experts who couldn't make it today, with whom we can potentially link you up if it's a better, if there's an obvious good fit with, like, geographically or thematically.
And again, as always, feel free if you would like to bring someone else along to do it with them, or if you would like to focus on a particular area but you're not really sure yet and would like to further explore an idea, just contact us and we would be happy to help. Any final questions? Any final doubts?
I was just also going to say, if you had a very brief conversation today with someone, and please know that it's the beginning of a conversation.
Yes, please.
And that this process really is just to kind of put the support on your radar, and so that you can be aware and know for real that this process is going to get going, and that there will be these connections will be part of it. So we really do hope that the discussion continues that you've begun.
Go and enjoy your lunch, those who have not had lunch yet, or the rest of your day if you're already done it. But thank you so much for coming. And again, happy to connect you at any point with anyone.
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye.